Hello and welcome to the Six Hockey Player Interview Series, where we get the chance to sit down with some recently selected players from the OHL Priority Selection. I mean, this is a very exciting time. A lot of young men's lives have changed forever from this moment on. Zach, I mean, this is a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, we got an exciting guest with us, drafted 143rd overall by the Niagara IceDogs. Please welcome in Giacomo Martino. Giacomo, how are we doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing
Good.
all right. Thanks for asking. And I mean, this has been a really crazy couple of months for you. Can you just take us through what the draft process was like for the OHL Priority Selection leading up to it and then on draft day?
Yes, for sure. Well, on Friday, I wasn't really thinking about the draft as much. I wasn't sure if I was going to get picked that high, but my brother, and my family were still watching just in case. And then the next day when I woke up, my parents were there, my brother was there, and they told me that I got drafted. And it was just excitement throughout the whole day and throughout the whole week, really. And then, yeah, basically, it was just a very exciting time.
Yeah, and you said your family was watching, keeping track for you. What was their reaction when you were selected by Niagara?
They were extremely happy for me. My brother especially. We do have a little bit of competition between each other, but we're always proud for each other when something good happens to either of us. So he was really excited for me, and so were my parents.
Yeah, this is a really cool opportunity for you. You do have that opportunity to learn from your brother, but I mean, for you, you spent some time in the GTHL, and I mean, you played with the Vaughan Kings, a great group there. And I mean, you're going to Niagara. They had a lot of picks from the GTHL. Can you speak to what it's going to be like getting to see a lot of those guys that you've played with and played against?
Yeah, for sure. I'm close with a couple of the guys who got drafted there. One of them was even on my team. So going there and already having some teammates there that I trust and know will be good for me, and I think it's just a good experience.
Yeah, and knowing guys is obviously super good going into a situation, kind of makes you a little bit more comfortable. And for you've been generous to have your brother. You mentioned him earlier. He's been through this all before, and you said you have a little bit of a competition going on with him. So how has he affected your development in the game of hockey?
Everything he does, he pushes me to do. Whether he goes to the gym and he pushes me to go with him, so we both could get better and stuff. And even in our backyard, we have a little bit of a shooting pad or whatever. And whenever he wants to go outside, he always makes me come with him. And we're just always doing stuff that can get us better on the ice and off the ice.
Talk about your play on the ice. I mean, you're going to Niagara. How would you describe your play style to the fans of the Ice Dogs to give them a little bit of a setup for the kind of player you're going to be in the next couple of years?
I think I'm just a smart, high speed player. I really try to get into good positions on the ice with my speed. Being defenders one on one, being first to the puck, and also being able to produce points for both myself and my other teammates, and just getting everyone involved.
And in terms of the Niagara Ice Dogs, living in the GTA, you get to stay in Southern Ontario, going to Niagara. So how does it feel like to get drafted to this franchise, and also how does it feel to be at least a little bit close to home?
That was a big thing. I felt like only being an hour and a half or a couple hours away would be good because my family could come watch a couple games and stuff like that. So being close to home was really good for me.
And Giacomo on the screen right now, we're showing that big goal from the 2019-20 season where, last game of the year, you guys are going up against the Mississauga Reps trying to vie for, playoff advantage. You get home seed.
Mhm.
You score that final goal, make it 4-3 in the last 30 seconds or so. And I mean, you had 22 goals on the year. I mean, what was that like? Can you take us through that experience, being able to, guide the team that way?
Yeah, I felt like I took a big jump from minor bantam to bantam. I started having more confidence in myself, and I just showed that on the ice. I used my speed more often to beat defenders, and my shot got a little bit better, so I was able to beat goalies from a little bit more, from like everywhere, kind of. And then just it's not just me. I felt like our teammates put me in a position where some of the goals I scored were because of other players. So it was just a good team thing and I was fortunate to score that many goals.
Yeah, and that goal that we just saw, super clutch again in the last 30 seconds of the game in a massive, massive matchup. How would you say you handle yourself in clutch situations such as that one?
I feel like I like being on the ice, in close games, 2 minutes left or stuff like that, both offense and defense. I feel like offensively, in the last 2 minutes, I try to, if we're down a goal or we need a goal to win or something, just I would always like remember how I play and don't try to change too much and just use my speed to my advantage and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Giacomo, I mean, not only were you picked in the OHL selection, but you also had the opportunity to be picked in the USHL draft. I mean, can you speak to what that process was like? I mean, it can't be easy to be up for two drafts, and I mean, to get picked in both of them is a crazy experience for sure.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised when I was picking in the USHL draft. I mean, I knew the league kind of well because my brother played there for a year, so I would always watch a couple of the teams. And then Waterloo called me a couple like a week before the draft, and I wasn't really sure if they were going to draft me. They said they liked me and stuff, but being selected to them was a huge accomplishment for me, and it was good for me, I think.
Has your brother tried getting in your ear, trying to sway you to one league or the other, or is that all up to you?
I mean, I obviously valid, like, I like his opinion and I hear what he has to say about it because he played in that league. Well, he played in Omaha, so it's a little bit different, but he does like the league and he's been telling me, good stuff about the league. So I guess at the end of the day, it's my decision, but having him beside me and him helping me is very nice.
Yeah, and we had touched on it briefly, the number of players coming from the GTHL that are going to be on that Niagara IceDogs team. We're going to get the chance to take a look at it here. I mean, you got Joey Costanzo, one of the first goaltenders drafted in the OHL Priority Selection. You played against him and the Toronto Marlies. Anselmo Rego, a guy that you played with. I mean, you played on a line with him as well.
Yeah.
Andrew Wyzik, another guy like that. Just take us through what it's going to be like, not only having that familiarity of Anselmo Rego, a guy that you played on a line with, but now you don't have to face Joey Costanzo in net. He was a great goaltender. So what's it going to be like to get to practice against him day in and day out?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's a challenge scoring on him. He's a great goalie. Uh, you know, Anselmo, I played with him a lot, and I really like playing with him. So we already have some chemistry built on the ice and off the ice. So being with him or being around him on the ice is really good for me. And then Wyzik, he's a great defender, great defenseman, and I love playing with him. And yeah, I think the people that I know, they're all very good and talented.
What can you say about yourself as a guy in the locker room? Do you take over the aux cord when the boys are getting fired up? Would you say you keep to yourself? Are you giving the big pregame speech? What kind of player are you?
I feel like I bring some energy into the room. Warm ups, try to lead those a little bit. But then when we're on the ice, it's kind of focus time. Or I know, like before the game, you always try to focus. But I just bring some energy into the room, get everyone, pumped up for the game. No, like pregame speeches or anything like that, because our captain usually did that, and he really pumped us up. But just before that, getting everyone energized and stuff to get ready to go on the ice.
And it can't be all about what's going on the ice. Sometimes you got to get yourself away from hockey. What do you do in your spare time when you're not always focused about hockey? What do you get up to?
I love golfing. I always go with my brother whenever he wants to go. We've been going two times a week usually for the past month. It's just that's something I really like doing, as well as bike rides. Around my neighborhood or anything like that. Just getting outside.
I mean, I got to ask, is it just driving range or you guys playing a full 18 holes?
Oh no, we play full 18s, and then sometimes we go to the range with some of our cousins who are like less experienced golfers. But when it's just me and him, we usually just go to an actual course.
I mean, you put up 22 goals in the 1920 season. What's better, your wrist shot or your golf stroke?
I mean, I'm still working on my golf swing a little bit, so I got to go with hockey. But I mean, it's getting close.
We mentioned how you play golf in your spare time. There wasn't a lot of hockey this past year, and you treasured every time you did get the chance. So what did you try to work on or improve specifically during this past year or so when there weren't a lot of eyes on you?
Well, off the ice, it was only about getting stronger. We have a little bit of a mini gym when all the gyms were closed, so I was fortunate to be able to use that a little bit. And then on the ice, whenever I did get the chance to go on, I was really working on my skating because I know that when you go back on the ice, it's a little bit different if you haven't skated for a while. So I was just trying to work on my edges and stuff like that. as well as my hands, trying to get those warm and ready for whenever the next time I go on the ice.
Yeah, and it's important to get that work in. And I mean, you did spend some time with the six hockey playing under this banner. So I mean, then that those opportunities would come during the spring and summer months. So what kind of impact did that have on your development, on the way you played the game, having the chance to play when the season wasn't in full swing?
I felt like it was an advantage for me because I got more time off the ice to work out and stuff like that and catch up to some of the bigger guys because in OHL everyone's a little bit stronger and bigger. So being able to do that was nice. And then on the ice was just whenever I could go on the ice, I was 100%. I really wanted to go. Anytime you could go on the ice, I feel like I would, just so I could get better and stuff like that.
Giacomo, what is one talent that you have in your game that you think is going to set you apart from other people when you get into camp?
I just think it's my high IQ on the ice. With my ability to skate and pass, I feel like just having a brain to like know what to do with the puck when I get it or move without it is something that I'm pretty good at, and I could use that to my advantage on the ice.
I got one more question for you. The season starts in a couple of months. What are the next steps? What are you going to do between now and the beginning of the season?
Well, still trying to go on the ice as much as I can, no matter who I'm with. Off the ice, working out at the gym still, and during the summer, might get a job if I feel like I could, if I have enough time. Um, but yeah, just off the ice getting better and on the ice getting better.
It's all about getting better, and I'm very looking forward to seeing what you can do at the next level. I loved your game in minor hockey, and I think we're all looking forward to see what you can do in Niagara. Giacomo, we really appreciate you taking the time out to talk with us today, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It was an absolute pleasure. For the Six Hockey, my name is Liam Crothers here with Zach Finch. This has been the OHL Player Interview Series. We sat down with recent Niagara IceDogs draft pick Giacomo Martino, and until next time, we'll see you then.